is up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel. It is Perry Covington here. Thank you for joining us. This is Ronin 7 Entertainment, and today we have a special treat. I brought a couple of the guys in from Ronin to do an edit on a single photo, and there were no rules, no restrictions. They could edit the photo any way they wanted, and you know, we got together on a virtual meeting to compare our notes and to see what we did. So hope you guys enjoy it. You guys, thanks so much for joining me. All that good stuff. I had a blast with it. I didn't know what you guys are going to come up with.
Yeah.
I figured maybe you might do some, like, you know, lighting changes, some color changes. I'm like, okay, cool. So I figured I'd go crazy. Then lo and behold, you guys went crazy too. That's probably why we're friends. So,
yeah, I think we all went pretty crazy with our interpretation.
Yep. That was fun. There's parts of it that were tedious, but I can explain later. But overall, I had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd agree. I thought it was a really fun exercise. I was honestly, at first glance, I didn't look at the original picture in too detailed. I thought at first glance, I was like, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake, just an hour tops, you know. I ended up spending, you know, definitely more than an hour. I don't know exactly how long, but I'm like,
same.
I'm working on it, and it became like a labor of love at a point. And I'm just like, what time is it? I got to work tomorrow. I got to wrap this up.
Yeah. So just for context, so people know, the original picture was a picture that I took when I was in Hawaii visiting family and doing a vacation. It was a Fijian house of worship, like an ancient house, a recreation of an ancient house of worship for the Fijians. And so when I did it, you know, Hawaii, you guys, it's just gorgeous, right? So no matter where you put your camera, you're gonna find something beautiful. So I was like, okay, this is one of my favorite. I don't know, I love the architecture of the house and just the composition of it with the tree in the front and all that good stuff. So I figured I'd share it, you know, and then just messing with it. And then when I started to, like, you know, just change things out and add stupid things and just making it ridiculous and fun, it was a little bit like, I felt like I was dishonoring the, you know, the ancient Fijians.
You're sacrilegious.
Yeah, I was being sacrilegious, man. But at the same time, it was a freeing experience, right? Because we're always dealing with like what the client wants, right? What you know, what kind of colors they want, what kind of video they want. This is one of the few times where we get to just go crazy and be stupid and have fun with it. So it brought me back to the reason why I love doing this kind of stuff in the first place. I thought it was a blast.
Absolutely. So I'm surprised. I didn't realize that was a picture you took. I honestly thought it was like a stock photo, and this isn't me just trying to get
Whoa.
So I was just like, I was like, man, this is a pretty cool stock photo. You know, I thought like maybe you went to Wikipedia, you know, and just did search Fijian hut or something like that. And I was like, wow, all right.
Right at my heart.
Yeah, this wasn't me trying to grease the wheels or anything. It was just me.
Oh, man, I love it. All right, so let's get into it.
At first I would change the lighting, change, you know, the contrast. That was it. But then I was like, wait a minute. Like you said, to get creative, get crazy. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear your guys' perspective on why you did what you did.
What I noticed though, like, I had so many new ideas kept coming. I was like, I could have done this for like days, just kept adding to it, changing it.
Yeah.
I had to finally settle with one thing. I was like, here we go.
Yeah, same for me. So I figure let's bring up Kenny's first, yeah?
Yeah, he was the first one done, so.
The first one done. Show off. And completely, like, took me for a loop. Like I said before, I was expecting, you know, some color correction, some light correction, you know, cleaning up the photo, maybe, you know, just fixing the crop or whatever. I didn't expect to see this. I'm glad you put this out, Kenny, because, like, I was like, I need to step up my game. Like, I need to.
Well, that was my original idea, was just to do a plain, again, changing the curves, the contrast, some color. That was it. But I was like, wait a minute. Because I saw the clouds. I was like, maybe I should change up the clouds a little bit. Then it just kind of went from there. Some of my inspirations from Peter McKinnon, actually, being surprised to actually how, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's doable to do an image like this. It's not something that most people can't do.
We're inside of a car. You put the framing inside of a car window. Like, I thought that was awesome. Like, it totally changed, you know, because I was there, right? So I know the location, but it totally changed the entire, like, in my mind, it shattered the location for me. It shattered all my preconceptions of the photo. like you put us inside of a car. I thought that was amazing. Like what made you think of doing that?
Well, I did that. So I had the clouds. It's like, okay, it's storming. Then I thought, oh, I should put a person there. And so since I'm a new father, I saw this great image of this little, I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but of this child looking up and in a raincoat. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. I was like, and so I gave you the photo. I was like, wait a minute. And what if I was in a car waiting for my child and like the child's still like in awe of this structure. And so I just let him look at this structure while I wait in the car to see the world.
An entire story, like a backstory of why this photo was taken. Like I just did stupid stuff with there's no story. I'm like, let's do this and let's put this just because it'll be awesome.
Yeah, we definitely got to save yours for last, Perry, because I think
it's great.
Like
any tips too? I got the stock photo, so I got the clouds. So there's trying to think, the clouds. There's the child. There's the car, and there's like a rain glass pane. So there's 4 images on there. They're from Unsplash Photo. If you go to unsplash.com, it's a great stock photo website.
Oh, nice.
To get photos like that, and they're free.
Nice.
So that's why I took that idea from that photographer. So a lot of it's kind of stealing ideas from different photographers that I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we do is just taking ideas and kind of making them our own for the most part. I mean, I read somewhere, like someone was saying, like, you know, there are no original ideas these days; they're just interpretations of ideas, right? So, and that's what's great about this medium and this creative like space. We get to look at everybody's stuff and just get inspired and try to do things on our own and make it our own, which is I think it's fantastic. So just like, I'm like, damn it, I should have done better, dude. you guys did such a great job. I love it. So here's Neil's like the space backdrop with him sitting, adding like more elements, like real life elements into the picture, with him sitting on the doorstep of this, like it's his, like, so my interpretation was like this was your place of dwelling almost, right? Like when I saw it, how did he brought in steps, like where the hell
steps, like what,
right? So like, and then, you know, I see that it was probably a daylight photo, but you changed the lighting and the shading so it matched to the, you know, it was great, man. It was really good. Why don't you talk to us about this one?
Yeah, so going into it, you know, your mind starts wandering and like brainstorming ideas, and I was just like, well, the first thing I wanted to do is, you know, you gave us a daylight photo. I wanted to show that you could take a daylight photo and turn it into like a nighttime photo. So that was kind of part of it, was a challenge to scale to see if I could make that happen. And then I thought about it even more. I was like, you know, let me add a fantasy element to it, you know, a sci-fi kind of fantasy element to it. And my mind just went to, I wonder what it would look like to be on like one of the moons of Jupiter. You know, let's say we're years in the future and we've actually colonized one of the moons of Jupiter. What would it look like in the night sky from one of those moons? So I started doing a little research, and then so for this I used Photoshop. But yeah, you know, when you look at articles about this, you realize how big Jupiter might actually appear in the sky, and then also what the sun would look like in comparison to that. So that's where me adding that in the backdrop went, and then just you know, the picture's always more interesting when you put a person in it. So I figured, what better person to put in it than myself.
That's right.
So that picture is of me in Maryland, and this was I was on a hike, and then we found these were literally just stairs to nowhere. Like, I think the old structure it actually went to just collapsed, so it was just stairs in the middle of the wilderness.
Okay.
So that's, and it was interesting. That's why we took the picture by it, and then I was just like,
so perfectly with the existing wall that's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that actually took some work to get it to match them.
Sure.
So what I did is I added a bunch of adjustment layers to the hut. So that was, you know, some brightness. I did some exposure. I changed the color balance to make it more blue, you know, because blue is cooler, darker, or nighttime. Right. Added a hint of magenta because the blue made it too cold, made it too like lifeless. So I added a hint of magenta, but I couldn't take those same adjustments and do the same thing with my own personal picture because they just didn't match. So it just took some finagling to actually get them to match. And then luckily, I was gonna do it without the grass at first, but then it didn't look good. It looked unnatural. It definitely looked, it just didn't look right. So that's where I added the grass and all this stuff from the foreground. And
oh man, I didn't even notice. Like it looks so like part of the. I didn't even notice you added grass. That's fantastic. Yeah. Holy shit! I can't say that.
Altogether, this is 3 photos with a bunch of adjustment layers to kind of get the color that I want. Oh, and then for the background, I forgot to mention this. For Jupiter, the picture looked too crisp, so I actually had to add a noise filter to that back image to make it look a little bit more like there's a little bit of atmosphere. You know what I mean? That's kind of disturbing that view to Jupiter.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
So yeah, so that's kind of why I did the choices that I did.
No way.
It's like a lot of research, man, for like a fun little exercise.
Well, that's why what should have been, just an hour, what should have been just an hour project turned into a little bit more.
That's great.
Nice work, man. Nice work. I love it. Cool. Yeah. Now let's look at my crazy ass vomit.
Yes. Yes.
This is awesome. I gotta say.
All right. So here.
I love the look on your face.
Like I just don't even want to talk about mine, man, because like you guys have like legitimate edits, like backstories, the research. I'm just like, I'm gonna put my face here, and all right. So here's my photo. So it started out with me originally doing what everybody else kind of started with, just color correcting. I cropped the image a little bit skinnier because I wanted the hut to be the center focal point, right? I wanted the eyes to be led to the hut. So I did that crop, brought up the tone. So I started in Lightroom first, changed out the colors. Yeah, changed out the colors, messed with the light, added some more. I really love when like foliage like pops in pictures. So I really brought up that like the luminosity and the vibrance of the greens, especially because I really wanted that to like be present. Because I was thinking Hawaii, and I wanted to make sure that that the tropical feel was still there.
Yeah.
But then I was like, the sky is interesting, but gray skies always depress me, so I'm gonna change the sky out, right? So I'm gonna make it like dusk.
Like I look at your photo and I hear the song, "Everything is awesome."
For sure, man. For sure.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is a house of worship. Like there should be, like, why not put some worship going on? Like, and so I was like, I'm gonna grab some crowd photos, some stock crowd photos. Bring them in there. There's like 3 or 4 layers of crowd.
Okay. I was wondering about that. Yeah.
And I didn't want to take too much time because I was already under the wire and you guys had finished already. And I'm like, dude, I need to get my crap together. So I didn't mess with the colors too much for the crowd. So I just gave them like I tried to match the light as much as possible from the sunset. Could have done a lot better in my opinion. But then I was like, okay, so are they worshiping this house? Like what are they all worshiping? And so I was like, what, I'm just gonna see what I have in my photos, right? Yeah. It was hard for me to find anything, so I found one where I was messing around and my daughter took a picture. It was just of me with my arms out, like pretending. I don't know what I was pretending, but yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing like my Harry Potter Deathly Hallows t-shirt.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is. It's the Deathly Hallows symbol. So yeah, so I had that Deathly Hallows shirt on, and so then I decided that it didn't make any sense, right? Like it's too much of a normal looking person. So how do you make a person look godly? You add light to them, right? So I added that big old light burst in the middle of my chest, and which went well with my arms out.
Yeah.
Okay, great, but I'm not grandiose enough for people to be worshiping me. So how do I go a step further to make this even more ridiculous? And so I'm going to put my face on the actual building. So I found another like selfie of myself, cropped it all out and took out all the background and all that stuff. So at this point I'd brought it into Photoshop, and I'm just working with multiple layers of stupidness. So then put my face on the roof, and then I added just like a cherry on top. Added another light leak on top of the roof to make it look like there was just power emanating from this house of worship. So Yeah, so that's the entirety of the edit, man. Like it turned into, it just started having fun with it. I was like, what else what stupidness could I add? I was gonna add lightning, I was gonna add like, just random things like people flying over, like it was a big old like, superhero fest kind of a deal, just because I was having so much fun. But it was like 2 in the morning when I was doing this. Like I was laying in bed doing this on my laptop, and Jen was like, go to sleep, you're ridiculous. So that's where I ended the adventures, because it was at 2 o'clock in the morning and I had to get to bed. But yeah, man, it was it was a fun thing. So like when I hear all the serious research you guys did in yours, and like the thought and like the backstories you put to yours, I'm like, man, I just went stupid. Like I should have thought about this more. But I mean, then that's the whole point of the exercise, right? It's 3 different perspectives, 3 different ideas, 3 different, I don't know. I love to see it, because I'm like, look at mine, it looks ridiculous, and I look at yours. Yours look like pieces of art, whereas mine looks like, a 4-year-old threw up on it. But it's all good. So much fun. Well, listen, you guys, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you guys doing this, man. It was so much fun. I had a blast. Can we do it again, please? Like, if you guys don't mind, do another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I would love that. So I think next one we'll do maybe another photo, and then we'll get into some video and do like, hey, here's like 4 clips. Do a 30-second edit, and we'll compare notes then. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, you guys. I will talk to you later. I appreciate you. Yeah, we'll see you later.
See you later.
All right. So that was it. Yeah, so much fun. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. I just wanted to kind of highlight, people's different styles and different opinions and creative choices that they made. And it's always interesting to see what people would have done to something that you edited. So we all edit photos, edit video, you have a certain vision, you have a certain way of creating and deciding on things. But to see that exact same product but tweaked by your counterparts or your peers is just a fun exercise, in my opinion. I got to see things I never would have thought of, and it was great. It was so much fun. Theirs were superior to mine in every way, but still, it was fun to do it. I had a blast making my photo, even though it was a little insane, and it was really neat to see the thought and the research that the guys put into their photos too. I'm super impressed. So anyway, hope you guys liked this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you could give us a like, subscribe to our channel. We got some good videos coming out here in the future, and yeah, we just enjoy this journey of filmmaking and photography. So you guys, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right, see ya.